Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
hello, hello.
Look, we are back,
That's right.
and we back at it, honey. With the what we got? What is it called? The girl. What is Married Medicine called? The Players Ball.
Uh-oh.
And we
Um,
got the what is this polo thing? What is called? Giddy up or something, girl. I thought I wrote it down
Lease Up,
somewhere.
Giddy Up is for
Okay,
Housewives of Potomac.
and Players Ball.
And let me see. Yep, and the Players
Players Ball.
Ball for Married to Medicine.
Medicine. Okay, lease up, giddy up. I think they was
Lease
giving
Up,
Angel.
Giddy Up. Let's get it on.
They was giving Angel a little bit too much. I thought. I'm like, oh, like I feel sorry for her in a way because you just hosted something. What 2 weeks ago? Where they were sitting there dogging Stacy. Now they're dogging you, calling you girl and Wendy. Okay, let's get going. So we start off. We got Tia. She's doing a polo event. And she has a brother coming there. And I guess it's the brother that's closest in age to her. I think he's like 3 years older than her. What his name is, I didn't catch. It's something I can't pronounce no way.
I
So
didn't either.
so I think he lives in like Rhode Island or something like that.
You know what? We can get on.
Okay.
I don't
So
remember
anyway,
nothing about the man.
so anyways, he's there to meet the ladies and everything. I think he had a polo team or something. So we find out Tia disinvites Stacy because Stacy told her to get her ass out. So she's like, she had never been thrown out of anything. So they go to this polo event where there's nothing but white people. It looks like they are the only blacks. Why I thought the lady with the blonde hair and the like kind of straw hat, I thought it was Robin at first.
Mm.
I'm like, is that Robin? Oh, that's not Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so Giselle Messy ass want them to sing the Black National Anthem. And like you said, Ashley is playing black. How you didn't know it was a Black National Anthem? And she wanted to know because Tia had asked Ashley to sing because Angel to sing because she is out has trained opera to be an opera singer, and Ashley wanted to know why she didn't ask her. I'm like, bitch, she sound as good as me, and I can't sing. So they get up there in front of all these white folks and they get to singing. Sing a song. Our national black anthem. And Tia said, she didn't know the words, but she's going to learn it because, that's something she needs to know. Giselle said, these white people ain't never seen black people before. And they said, Wendy goes, this is where Ashley's going to meet her her new husband. I go, oh my goodness. So they're out there and Tia throws out the ball for the polo game. And then they have where the women, they also go out there to stomp the divots. And Wendy's a little taken back because she got on all white. So what you mean? We stomping divots. There's horse doodle out there and everything and this and that and the other. I said, Wendy is not as cultured as she pretend to be. Because that's what they do. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but that's what they do,
Well, I would actually. It's funny that you say you wouldn't do it because I feel like for me, that's exactly why I would go.
Yeah,
That's
I wouldn't even go.
That would be the only thing I would be looking forward to is to go put the grass back in the hose because. To Giselle's point, I'm not paying attention to these horses and whatever else is going on.
Ain't nothing. I'm just there to socialize. That's it. I ain't going out there.
But this is me personally, which I didn't like them doing the lift every voice and sing. I understood, but I didn't think it was as cute as I guess. I don't know. For the simple fact that for me, proper etiquette. Now we're going talking Potomac. Etiquette would be that you go somewhere and you participate in what you doing, not that you come and try to.
But what, shoot,
It's a white thing. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
mean, but the national anthem, we don't do polo here like that, so it's not like a
well,
national
that's
game.
my point. Is that is a white thing that you are attending,
It's
and
a European.
and to try to, I've said this about many other things. The Oscars, a lot of stuff. Because I say sometimes you let those people have their things. You don't have to come in and try to figure out a way to fit in, the black people. We don't. That's not anything, that we are going to fit into. So if you go in a 10, then you go in a 10 the way that it's set up, which goes back to being prepared. Well, and maybe not. But again, I don't go anywhere to sit around and watch everybody else. I go to participate. And if I felt like I was going, like, oh, we're doing this, then I wouldn't be there.
I ain't stopping that damn debit. That's me personally.
That would be fun to me. That would be the highlight.
No, it wouldn't
For
be
me, if I went to a polo event.
I'll do everything else, but I
And
ain't
to
doing that.
Lindy's point, I would know better than to go dressed in all white.
Exactly. And I thought to myself, because she acted like she's so cultured and so much above the rest, I would thought if this is something you're participating in doing, you would knew about it in the first place. She was just like,
yeah,
it's little out there. I'm like, this
because
is
I think that there's the idea of what it is without knowing exactly what it is.
Girl,
So
no, she
you
didn't
thought
know.
you was going just to see people maybe race, like horse racing, like Kentucky Derby.
No, that's playing polo.
Again, it's the idea of what she thought she was going to see. All she knows is horses, people riding the horses. She ain't probably paid attention to what the difference in what it was you was doing. Because when they doing the Kentucky Derby, you don't go out and stick the pivots in.
Of course. Yeah.
Right.
You about to get random.
Right. There we go. That's what I mean. For you to go and not want to stick the pivots in, why are you here? Like, because that's why they got you here.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I ain't doing none of that. Man. You already know I don't even like animals. So that's I'm only going because it's a group thing and I gotta go get a check.
Well, y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments, okay? Like, are you gonna go and put the pivots in, or do you know what polo is? The difference between polo and going to a horse racing event. Like, do you know the difference?
I would imagine most people probably wouldn't know. I would imagine. I know there's no sticks involved in the dang horse racing, but I thought it was cute, but that wouldn't have been my cup of tea because I definitely ain't getting out there stomping the dibbies, and I ain't gonna lie, and it's hot, and I ain't doing all that. No.
I bet Katie would have known what to do.
Whom?
Katie.
She probably would have.
Because what I'm saying, that's to say, I find that event probably is not that foreign to the area, the way that they present Potomac. And it was surprising to me that out of the whole group, it was Tia, they kind of seemed to introduce them to it.
Well, Tia, she's British, so that's what they play over there.
Yeah, but I'm talking in a socialistic, like y'all act like y'all the upper echelon of Potomac. And what I'm saying is it would seem to me that maybe that would be something you would be accustomed to, whether you liked it or not, would be something different. But that would be an event that you're used to, being invited to, maybe going. That's the reason why I said I bet Katie would know.
Yeah, but
Katie was the actual socialite.
Yeah, but that area is pretty black though. All around there is black.
I'm still
saying supposed to be Jack and Jill, not out there playing polo and all that. So
I would think both of them hand in hand. Yeah, I would think.
Well, most of these aren't they all the ones who did go to college? Most of them pledged a black sorority.
Well, maybe you mean that to say most of them went to a HBCU. But even going to a
You don't have
HBCU
to go to,
doesn't mean that you haven't been raised in the area where you're accustomed to doing the things that go on in that area. Like like I hadn't heard of lacrosse until we were in Hamilton County. Lacrosse ain't going on in Gary School Corporation. So if I hadn't, you know what I'm saying, like, and
oh, they
none
have
of
lacrosse
my
teams
kids
here.
didn't play lacrosse. But what I am saying is that because I'm in an area now that was introduced, and that's something they know about lacrosse. Like
Oh,
somebody would
they
say
had
something,
that.
and they, you know, that they know what it is, they know how you play it, they, you know what I mean, whatever.
I didn't
Because
play it, but we had that in our school district.
hmm.
Lacrosse. We even had archery.
Well, you in Fort Wayne, and even though your
Girl, wait a
area
minute.
is predominantly black, I'm just saying it's Fort Wayne. You know what I mean? Like,
Have you been to Fort Wayne? Because I think you up here talking about Gary, and I know that's a very small little town.
it's very small and it's very black.
Okay, yeah, it is very black.
So right. So what I'm saying is they don't know nothing about no lacrosse.
Well, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
okay, and what you would say in the Washington D.C. area, it's very black.
It's so I'm pointing out the difference between, because so for instance, there's an area of Hamilton, same with maybe even your area. There's an area that's very black, but I also am saying it's about what is going on around. So you can still be very black. I think it was. I'm gonna use this example. We was talking about. Oh, I'm trying to think of the subject matter. Like, even as blacks, as you aspire to be in a different, oh, I was saying we have a class issue in society, and the reason why you know we have a class issue is because the idea for you to get anywhere ahead generally falls behind going where the things are that is easily accessible. Like, it's harder to get out of a system or a cycle in the inner city unless you go to a suburb. We'll put it that way. And why? Because the suburb has introduction to different other things, other avenues that the city person wouldn't necessarily get. So when I'm talking about Potomac, because while the area is black and we understand that, what Potomac has presented themselves to be is the upper echelon of that entire being.
Yeah, but
And
it's
so
upper
what I'm
echelon
saying with that
blacks is what I'm
is,
saying. Black
even
people do what black
even
people
to
do.
be in the upper echelon, it would seem to me that in some way you would have crossed paths with some of these other things. Like, to the idea of being a polo being foreign to most of the cast is obtuse to me, because I would think you would have known about it, even
I
if you didn't
disagree.
go.
I disagree because I think a lot of times in those spaces, even though you're upper class blacks, a lot of times upper class blacks don't assimilate with upper class whites. Period.
Well, I don't, you know, it would depend on how you see that. I think I see it as
I
a
don't
more
think so.
broader
So
situation.
that's why you see it like it's presented there. Because
No,
most black
I see it as a more broad situation. I think the only way anybody upper class black person is still only hanging around with the black people.
No. See, just because you
Yeah,
say
I don't.
black
Yeah,
people, I'm not saying that because they're black that they're doing low class things. I'm just saying they're not doing the things that, to me,
I'm not
polo
saying that
is not.
they're not doing it, but what I'm saying is that you would have knowledge of it.
Not if you're not
Like I
doing it.
just mentioned about lacrosse. Nobody in my house has done lacrosse, but we understand, you know, like we know what it is. I wouldn't go and be like, oh, you know, like
I'm like, oh,
I have
yeah, I
knowledge
didn't
of
take it.
it.
I mean, I didn't take it. Those things were offered in the inner city schools here in Fort Wayne. So,
I
but
don't
I ain't never taken
consider.
it. It was never
I
nothing
think
I wanted to do.
what we disagree in a sense is that personally, and I don't know if I'm right or not. Maybe Chat GPT can tell us, but I don't consider Fort Wayne an inner city. I understand you might
I
have
think you need to
a
come here though.
section that is what that is, but I'm saying
We
that's
do have inner
when I'm
city Fort Wayne.
talking,
It's
I
not
don't
all
consider
suburb.
Fort
It's
Wayne
not
that.
like where you live now. It's not like where you live now.
No, I understand that it's not,
Mhm.
but I still don't consider it inner city.
And have you been here though?
No,
Okay.
I just I don't consider
Yeah,
it
man.
inner city. But
How
yeah.
would you know if you haven't been though?
Well,
They're
that's
the
true,
second
but
biggest city in
I have been
Indiana.
to what I consider an inner city, and I think that Fort Wayne, my idea is very broad, but what like Fort Wayne, what I know about what I consider central Indiana more so than North Indiana or going for like up towards the north, closer to Chicago. And that is what I would consider an inner city.
I don't live
I don't even
central Indiana.
consider Gary an inner city. Like Gary is a city, but Gary is I think Indiana in general is very much what I consider to be country. Not as country as Mississippi, not as country as what the country is, but what I mean is it's much more country than an inner city. And if you can't get a
So what
bus
do you?
every 10
I
minutes, if
guess
you
what
can't
I'm
get
trying to
the
understand,
L,
inner city is the inner part of the city. Usually, the inner part of the city is mostly predominantly black or whatever other color. So I guess when, from what I am understanding, what inner city is, because to me, Fort Wayne is not much different than Indianapolis. It's just Indianapolis a little bit, a little bit different.
and Indianapolis is country to me.
I'm not so.
Because I'm not saying it to say like that anything is any different. I'm saying
But like, even though, like,
it's all
okay, so the
country as far
suburb
as I'm
areas around
concerned.
there, like Carmel, that's a high dollar area. So Carmel, they may be doing a little bit more lacrosse. They may be doing a little bit more polo. What I'm saying is the upper echelon blacks, because a lot of times in most places it's segregated and it doesn't matter. So a lot of times those blacks don't aspire to go and sit up in white spaces, is what I'm saying. So not that they're sitting up doing ghetto stuff, because even when they go to Martha's Vineyard, they're still doing stuff separately than what the white people are doing there. So
I mean, I get it. I understand that. I still stick with what I mean is that they present themselves as an upper echelon, and I expected them to have knowledge of what polo was and what was expected. And I didn't, even though, like I said, I get it, but I didn't really like it because it felt like that's still one way to make yourself stick out, like because nobody you were singing to understood what you were singing either. Only y'all. And so,
and they didn't
it
either.
didn't
They was
fall.
reading off the phone.
Did he puke?
Where we at?
Let me see.
So after all the stumping of divots, we got Jazzy pulling Ashley aside. And Jazzy wants to know about Stacy lying, I guess, because that was the question she posed. She said, not until you make me believe she's lying or proof to me that she's lying about something. They basically told her she wasn't going to come to your wedding, basically, until Stacy found out that you were going to be a part of the group. And it might be a chance that it may be filmed. So she pulled Ashley aside to ask her about that. And Ashley just told her point blank, yeah, she wasn't coming to your wedding. She said, well, she moved things around to get there. So then they also asked Angel about not really being a part of the group and not doing one-on-ones. And, she was like, I'm not about to be over here begging for these women's attention. She said she'll be spending time with them one-on-one and even Wendy too. So everything will be okay. So not even 18 hours later, unexpectedly, supposedly, that she has to move. And she is has to be out by the 1st. And we find out her rental unit home Airbnb was a short-term lease agreement that had already expired. So it was already booked by someone else. So they have to move. So we have Tia and Kay. They're coming over and they're kind of surprised. They didn't know, because she's just now springing it on to them. This is 18 hours after the polo event. And Tia was a bit taken back and she was concerned. Maybe the landlord had did something underhanded or unsavory. She just couldn't believe that she was having to leave or get out that quick like that. And she said they're going back to Colorado, is what Angel says. She says this is not their furniture. Their things are in Colorado, so they're going to go back there and bring some, and get some other things. And they're still searching for a home. And Tia basically told them, hey, she didn't want to mix business with pleasure, but hey, I'm here and I can help you find a home, basically. So I'm gonna stop right there about them talking with Angel as she's boxing up everything in this Airbnb. What are your
Honey,
thoughts?
all I had to say about that scene, because we can get on to the nitty gritty when it comes down to this. But all I had to say with that scene was, I guess the producer said, y'all not gonna get us like Karen did and move in the middle of the night. We about to catch this move right in action.
Girl, they tickled me when it said 18 hours later. I'm like,
No,
oh,
they tickled me when they was spanning through the house, and I was trying to figure out what was they getting to, because the house just felt like disarray or something, like, And finally, they go out to the boxes, and I was like, "Oh."
so basically, once they leave, Angel, she's Angel is excuse me, not Angel, Lord have mercy, Tia. Tia is driving and Giselle calls to invite her to the Potomac and Ponies event that her and Wendy is putting together. And Tia tells her about Angel having to move and that she will be going back to Colorado. And so, to get things together and come back. And here's Giselle. But she don't like us that much. She only did this for the show. Who would get a short-term lease? She thought that we was gonna be done filming by now. No, we still filming. All right, Giselle. So Giselle thinks she has been evicted. So you want to go on to Wendy and her husband?
Well, this is what I'll say about that situation. For me, it sounds like she rented an Airbnb.
That's what it sounds like. Yes.
That, like, cut and dry. Now, Giselle Twist, using the word eviction, which technically I guess that is what it is. Like, you gotta go. Like, and you said in your own words, they have it booked already. That's the reason why I'm like, well, it clearly is an Airbnb, because even if you had a lease that was up, I ain't understanding how they already have it booked up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, that was just what they knew it was happening, and it wasn't nothing to come and ask you about.
Exactly.
And so with Giselle kind of using that to say she did it for the show, well, it's looking that way, because I'm not sure, like, fine, as she did later on in the show to say, well, we didn't really want to do a full lease because we thought we would be cut. Buying a home, I think, is so unpredictable. Unless you're building a house, I'm not, and you have a time frame in which that's supposed to be done. I don't know how you move somewhere feeling and signs anything less than 6 months to a year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, when you're buying a house, sometimes it goes really quick, though. I know I was in mine for 30 days.
I think I understand that there's that possibility, but I'm feeling like if you didn't already have something in the works, I don't know if it doesn't seem like it made much sense to me. I don't know how short the lease was, whatever the time span was, but it doesn't feel like it would make that much sense to me. Well, you're not even in a traditional apartment, because the deal is, if you signed a short lease in a traditional apartment type of complex, then you would have been able to extend it
Yeah.
if you had not. The fact is, you are in an Airbnb, and so it doesn't really matter how you slice it. It doesn't feel like, well, clearly it wasn't a smart decision.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I
I
don't.
mean, they're looking a little broke. And I hate to put it that way because I ain't trying to be in the lady pockets, and I don't care, what she had one way or the other. The only reason why anybody would care is because of what you present, You know what I mean? But she asked her husband what the budget was for a home. I find it hard to believe that it's hard to spend $7 million on a home when you know that your lease is come. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got nowhere to be in the next woo of time frame. So if the house selling or buying was able to go that quick, it seemed to me like y'all would have been had it. Otherwise, maybe you ain't got no money because we ain't seen her go look at no houses.
They had an episode where they went and looked at houses.
I don't remember that. I remember her asking about what the budget was.
The thing of it is, they want land in that area. You don't get a lot of land with the properties you buy there, unless you move kind of where Wendy lives. But I think he said he wanted at least 5 acres. And then most of those
sound like a bunch of bullshit.
I don't know. I mean, when you looking
for bullshit ain't shit but chewed up grass. That's what that is.
If you got the money and you looking for that house, unless they're going to build.
But that's what I mean by it doesn't make sense that you having to scramble and move your family, not just move, but all the way back to Colorado.
I think she definitely thought they were going to be done filming. That's why
I said Giselle has a point about what it is she said, because if that's not the deal, then it seems like you'd have had a different situation going on.
Mm-hmm. She definitely thought that. I'm not gonna say they broke. I just don't think she planned that well at all. And it seems like how we say Stacey tells white lies. It seems like she's telling a little bit of a lie or whatever, or it seems like she's lying, and which got everybody's looking at her funny. Because to me, if that was my situation, because it seems like Kay didn't know that, hey, my lease option is up now, and I would have let them know, probably even at the party thing. I wonder if they were, because they were so late to the
event. That's the reason why I take it to a money issue, because I just feel like that is not anything you would need to disclose to anybody. You know it, and for you to not be prepared, that is the red flag. It doesn't matter what you told anybody. I think they were
prepared. I don't think he wanted probably wanted to stay there. He said he wanted to sit in his own toilet.
Well, here's the deal. I don't think they could. I don't think the want to stay is even a question. And that's why I'm going back to the money. If you wanted to stay, if you knew you only rented this space for this amount of time, now this is just saying that they're not here just to film a show, that they actually are wanting to move back the way that they've presented it. So if that be the case, if she clearly didn't sign nothing, it was him. All I'm saying is somebody knew when the time was up there. And when the time was up, if you had not had the home that you was looking for to purchase, and you were clearly wanting to stay in Maryland, then you would have had another place to go ahead and transition to, because you know that, okay, this is only available for such and such. We ain't ready. We ain't found. So now we got Toya and Eugene are more of the picture perfect examples of what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And so what I mean is, and for that to happen, and I don't care what you saying you knew, it looks like y'all in shambles from the way that you packing up and moving. So that's the way it's presented. I don't have no facts other than what y'all just showed me on camera, okay? And that's the way it was presented, is that y'all had to up and move like Karen. They said Karen had to move in the middle of the night and nobody knew where she was living. But if Karen was able to find somewhere for her to be, I'm certain that if y'all had the moolah, You could have found somewhere too. For you to have to move all the way back to Colorado, it is given. You clearly was only here from the show. And maybe, like Giselle said, you decided you good.
And isn't there the sporting good business, isn't that in Colorado too?
What sport? Oh, I don't know. I don't really know much about them.
That's what they presented. They presented
I'm about to say what sporting goods. So I'm like, they got a sporting goods store? Maybe so. I don't really know. But what I'm saying is this move stuff, it ain't adding up. Something in the milk ain't clean. And now the girls can say that you've been evicted.
Well, eviction means you going to court.
Well, I think eviction for them just means you've been put out. You've been told you can't.
Your lease is up. That's it. They didn't get put out before the lease was up. So we got Wendy and Eddie and the daughter Cameron, and she's at some kind of gym, and they're talking about her dad, which is going to be her storyline, not talking to him. And then when she finally talks to him, he has a group chat with his siblings. And she also states that her and Giselle are putting together that Potomac potluck dinner thing. And she was talking to Giselle on the phone, and she had mentioned something about his office. And Giselle said, "Oh, Eddie must got a lot of money." And I swear to goodness, every time they talk about money or anything, I think, knowing what we know, Wendy just did not say nothing.
In that office, she put the price tag right out there when she talked about that damn kitchen. I said, "Here we go."
Yes, I mean, well, that's not hard to do, though.
Well, all I'm saying is bingo. Because here again, what we always was trying to figure out, even from when the news dropped, what is it that you was doing with this? Why did you feel the need for it? When she said they went into over $100,000 for that kitchen renovation, even though we said it as soon as she started mentioning renovating the house, we kind of joked, about, oh, is this where the money went from? But yeah, I feel like the season is probably more incriminating for them than they would like it to be, because it felt like, now what I told myself is, now I want to go down the rabbit hole. Not very often do I want to try to validate time frames, but this is one where I would love to know the time frame. I would love to know what time frame was it that she got that house remodeled, and what time frame was it that them people came and broke into that house for her to get file them insurance claims.
Well, you know that
they're renovating. Like you was trying to recoup some money.
When the house broken into in 2024?
I don't know, but that's my point. I would love to know time frames. I would love
May
to know
2024. So I feel like they were using that money to do some of those things to the home, because she's right now acting like money.
I would love to know.
Money is not an option. It's not a thing. When you just go over the budget, just go over the budget. Yeah. I haven't even looked at it. I was
she was like Michael Jackson up in here. I'll take that.
$1 million and something dollars. I'm like, what did Mike buy? I remember watching that documentary or whatever it was, 2020. I'll get this, I'll get that, I'll get this, I'll get that. I'm like, what the hell is he buying? An old ass mannequin? And this, what is that? Yes. Money is no option.
Well, like I said, I would love a deep dive for the time frame, because baby, I felt like that, if nothing at all, was the most incriminating. That was incriminating for me.
And Cameron says she got 3 phones and her daddy about to buy her.
That's what she said, honey. One for the rollie and one for the plug.
I'm like, what's this baby doing with 3 phones?
One for the rollie and one for the plug.
So then we have Stacy and Kay. They're going on a lunch date. and Kay was Stacy was talking to her about things to order, and it was something with cheese and something with a B or whatever. And Kay says she's allergic to cheese. So Stacy still orders it anyways, and seems like Kay got an attitude behind it. I'm like, just don't eat it. So yeah, I don't even know what that is about. But anyways, they were there to talk about their relationship. And basically, to sum it up, they just said, hey, well, Stacy said, if you hear something about me, come to me first, and you talk about it with me instead of doing all the things you do. Because to me, I don't see why Kay and Stacy have an issue in the first place. Just
Kay
seems
is
like
just reaching and she want to keep that flute by any
yes, she
means
inserted herself.
And she look a mess. Like in the words of Jocelyn Hernandez, bitch, you look a mess.
Girl, because
you look a mess. Because, yeah, I mean, you just starting stuff all over the place. And not for nothing, liar or not, I don't know why y'all like it. I wouldn't even consider Giselle a fan favorite. I think Giselle just is Giselle.
Yeah.
And so she just is Giselle. But I would
say, I don't give a damn.
A fan favorite. And so it doesn't matter, lies or not. None of us even care. Like even with the whole Chris thing, read the room. Like the audience doesn't really care. Like if she dated Chris or not. Y'all the ones that seem to be so up in arms about it. And for what? Like, who did she violate? You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Yeah. And it's not y'all business. So she doesn't have to come clean. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like that's the problem. It's like, what are you talking about? And so read the room. We don't give a shit. You look crazy. Okay.
Yes, because she goes, all she know is Stacy had a picture with Chris. I'm like,
make sure we clip that part because we need that, and we're gonna tag Kay in that. Because girl, bitch, you look a mess. We need you to go back to the drawing board with that.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
Figure out something else. If they ask you to come back with a new script. You know what? She clearly been talking to Claudia. I saw I don't know, everybody catch strays when they come to me in my mouth. Claudia say that, how I get it. But I saw a headline talking about Claudia would be open to rejoin the Housewives of Atlanta. Like, now that she know the game, here I go. Does Claudia know ain't nobody asking for her? But here's the other part. You ain't even need to tell us that. We know how thirsty you are to get back in, but we don't want it. And that's what, listen, her sitting over there on Carlos King's podcast every Monday, feeling like she got advice for the housewives, the current housewives, the ones that are currently holding the peach, the apple, the flute, the diamond, whatever it is, the orange. You over there holding that damn mic. Talking about you can give them advice. Girl, bye. Your housewife stint was the biggest flop ever. Like, are you kidding me? It is comical that you think you have advice for anybody. So with that being said, clearly her and Kay must be friends because I bet that's where she's getting her advice from. Kay, you look a mess. Cut it out.
Oh
get Claudia off the line, boo. She is making you look like a fool.
Well, anyway, with that being said, we got to meet. Hold on a second. You go ahead.
Well, I don't know where we was going to next, honey. I think we was getting on down. I remember they get together. I think this was next. Giselle, Wendy.
The meeting of the OGs.
Yeah, they met and was talking about the the family party that they decided to be a potluck, and Stacey is bringing the potato salad. That, you know what? That's what let you know that somebody knows she the fan favorite, because we know about that potato salad, honey. You don't ask just anybody to bring the
Girl,
potato
I ain't never
salad.
eaten it.
No,
If my mom didn't make it, I'm not eating it. I'm sorry.
I feel that, but that's what I'm saying. You don't ask just anybody to bring the
Girl,
potato
that shit
salad.
looked like I got pictures of it too. I said, I think it when she said it's made with love, I said she don't love them bitches. Because that looked like store-bought potato salad with
It
some
did look like
paprika on
store
top
bought
of
to
it.
me too. I consider myself to be a potato salad connoisseur, and I can even if a person try to doctor it up, I know the reason why you know is the potatoes
Just
be
be
hard.
hard.
Yeah, like the potatoes be hard. But
Girl.
it did look a store bought. But I said at least she had enough sense to put some paprika on it, so it looked at least edible. Okay,
So
but
they have
and here go Ashley talking about as long as it ain't no raisins in it. Like here you go with your culture appropriating ass. You know that's all you eat is some potato salad with some raisins in it, some capers or something. Girl, bye. I'm so sick of Ashley. I wish she'd get off my TV screen.
and she know that's what she
Right.
and she said it looked good. I said, oh, okay.
It looked like she knew a little bit. She knew to make it look like what it was supposed to try to look like.
Girl. Girl, she said, I ain't fixing them bitches shit. I bet she went right on over to the Kroger's or whoever they got down there.
Well,
Dump that
not for
stuff in
nothing,
there.
Walmart got some good store-bought potato salad. So if y'all ever do want some, Walmart is it. The mustard potato salad.
Girl, I just had bad experiences. I can't. That's something I will skip over. I don't care who house I'm at or whatever. I'm no, because there's people that just really can mess that up. I said, no, that's a no, thank you for me. And so, anyways, they're talking about okay, when they get there, I don't know how they even got on the subject of this, but Ashley just blurts out about her having periods twice a month and feel like she's about to come on right now or something. I'm like, you got on all white and your ass is about hanging out. Really? And then Wendy has to do one better. She said, well, my man, Happy Eddie, he got a calendar in his office, and I guess he regulates or trying to figure out when her period is coming or whatever. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was strange.
Yeah, and so just I was like, no, we got an invite to Colorado from Angel. I guess it's going to be cowboy inspired. And she was like, oh, Angel's copying off of our theme. And that's what they also talk about. Stacey bringing the potato salad. They talk about Giselle had talked about Angel getting evicted and said she's not top tier wag. She said Taylor Swift is top tier. She's not. And then
I'm surprised she didn't use that to plug Monique in there. It would have been nice had she said that Monique, because remember that was kind of how they fell out, Giselle and Monique, when Monique came in talking about how she had the 5 homes and that they was looking for another house because Giselle did the same thing with her. It was like, so you don't have a home?
Yeah.
And so she's like, I have 5, Anyway, so that would have been a
gagged her real quick
to give Monique at least her props for coming in. And look, Giselle, whatever, take the punches. I'm here with you because it's not giving top tier wag. What you mean? You got to run back to Colorado? Yeah, I'm with her. You're right.
So here's God dang, Wendy says she has a realtor friend that's telling her information about a girl who wants to be around the group that was looking for a place that looked like it cost $50K a month, but really all she wants to pay is between $2,000 and $3,000 a month. And then Ashley go, is she broke? And then they had a good kiki out of that. And I'm like, Wendy, shut the fuck up, please. Because she's talking about she don't need to know about her finance. I'm like, everything you said, Angel, she better come to the dang on reunion because I will wear Wendy ass out.
And the only reason why Ashley looked crazy is because, girl, whatever money you got, you ain't make it yourself. So cut it like,
girl.
And right, how are you doing over there as a single mom to them kids you got to sit up and negotiate with? I peeped that anyway. You wanna? I'll give you. We'll play this later if you just come over
girl.
and eat some
So then we have
popcorn.
Giselle saying,
Whatever
"Well, I
it
feel
was.
like, girl, eat the potato salad." But Giselle said, "I feel like Bobby is over it, and I heard he don't even like Eddie." Then she go, "I'm just making that up." So we finally make it to the Potomac and ponies. And one thing Wendy was saying that, the way she throw parties and the way Giselle throw parties, the contrast, basically calling Giselle tacky. But I thought nothing was more tacky than her bringing in that damn box, not even enough chicken for everyone, but a box in the full pan of Popeye's chicken. That was tacky
I
as hell.
mean, listen. I thought it was tacky to talk about somebody else's party, and I didn't see what the difference in that party was. That's all I'm saying. I
Exactly.
didn't see what the difference
It
was.
looked like a Giselle event to me, but her thing looked tacky. I mean, you came in with the Popeyes chicken, and it didn't even look like it looked like she only had enough for her family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe 12 pieces. I don't know. It didn't like it was a lot
It
to
didn't look,
me.
yeah, it didn't look like it was a lot. I agree.
So then we have Ashley. She arrives with the catfish for the catfish, and I think she's just gonna wear that out and really try to taunt this girl about this damn catfish. So I'm like, well, damn. So they call Angel to see how long she's going to take to get there. And she said, we're a good ways away or whatever. And it was like, when are you going to get here? And her husband said, we're going to get there when we get there. Shit. Tia goes, they're stressed. They just had to move. They have the little kids or whatever. And Wendy's like, we all got kids and this, that, and the other. So then
Yeah,
we
but
see,
you're not displaced.
yes,
Again, not giving wag.
yeah, they was coming from the hotel or somewhere. And so we have Stacy, and Stacy brings Timu and Abrella, or however you pronounce her name. And the women are looking like, is that Timu? Now, didn't her first season, didn't he put his face on there at least once?
I thought they did show him at least once. I felt like he was a little like fuller. He seemed like thinner, but I don't know.
And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure they should have saw him, just looking at the clips from last year or whatever. But anyways, the women are looking like, what? Is that Timu? And I feel like they all had egg on their face. Like, what? He actually showed, so she walk in there big and bad with her potato salad and her man and her baby. And she said her dish is going to be the best dish there because she made it with love. So here go Wendy messy ass come over there, introduce herself, and then ask him, did he help inspire the potato salad?
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I said, ooh, it's messy. So he was like, I don't know. No, he didn't help make it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
He said his wife does that and she's a very good cook. But we find out, they do a flashback or whatever, a scene with TJ and she's making Detroit peach cobbler that's not done. So I'm like, what kind of cook is she for real? So, what else we got going on? So the catfish.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up because this is the last little bit. So Angel finally gets there. And of course, Ashley wants to make sure she catches the reference to the catfish being for her. She seems to catch it very quickly.
Yeah, she said she can shove it. So,
I mean, I thought that was. Listen. I thought my thought was. I guess they do have to find somebody else to pick on because it's not landing with Stacy.
No.
And like I say, not with them and not with the fans either. So you got to pivot. And y'all don't know enough to at least throw it back on Ashley and ask that bitch about her business. Why she all up in y'all?
Angel became the easy target once her dumb ass cried.
Yeah, that's
Giselle.
what I mean.
That
So
was it was
now
all
there's
over.
everybody on Angel and trying to figure out why she been evicted and why she running off to Colorado and what's going on. So
Girl.
I thought the catfish was low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it was. But I got so
Um,
tickled with Cameron when Cameron said, ew, what is that? I don't know if it's edited, but the little girl said, that's potato salad, Arabella. No, she could have been talking about something else. I said, but
true.
they cut over there to that potato salad. I'm like, damn.
Well, you know, funny you would say that because I mean, I don't. I would guess. I would guess she was talking about something else, or I don't know. Maybe she know a little bit more about playing up for the cameras. Because the truth of the matter is, it did look like
Yeah,
potato
potato
salad. Like
salad.
it didn't look like anything other than potato salad. So
And I'm thinking
you
maybe she
know, it
never
just
had
was
potato
like,
salad.
hmm.
I was thinking to myself, maybe she never had it. You know, maybe it might be a cultural thing. Since they got her grandma being there cooking and had
I
that raw
mean,
ass
maybe
fish in it.
so. That's from what we saw on the table. If you brought your, I don't know, for her bringing her kids there would seem to me that they ate everything that was on the menu, Popeye's chicken included. So I don't know, but like I say, yeah, it was something, but I don't know if it landed with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was like, no, it looks like potato salad.
Yeah, I
And,
thought so too.
like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Now, what it tastes like, and I agree with you, it looks store bought from my eyes viewing it on the camera. So there's that. It just looked like it might have been bought from the store, but it definitely looks like potato salad. It doesn't look
Yes.
like something that would taste nasty. It looks like it would taste the way you expect it to taste. Now, whether that's gonna have a little oomph or whatever, but
And like it had no oomph. It just looked like some
exactly,
hard
yeah,
potato salad.
yeah.
Some little hard, tough potatoes in there. But anyways, what would you give this rate this episode?
I am going to rate it. I'm still going with about a 6 for me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, honey. Married to Medicine was everything. Go ahead, because this one, I mean, it was okay. I just thought the pylon on Angel was a little bit much. Especially when she just hosted something, and how quickly them bitches turned on her ass. And I was like,
Right.
because that's why I said I would have never had them women over my damn house.
Well, she was just sitting up there talking about Stacy with them, and that's
Yes,
your
it's you.
ass on the chopping block.
So you're okay with the bully as long as it's not you.
Well, that's why I said when she gave that unsolicited information about the girl, that's what I said. I believe every word, whatever the lady said, because you actually showed your hand, you showed your ass, and that is who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is who she is. And we see, I mean, the deal is we see it even now. You get on, you get in the comments, you got all of this stuff. Like, and I get it. I can understand that there's a certain amount of something that you would have to say after the fact, like bringing it back. But where were you all season? Hello?
Girl, she's slow to think, girl.
Honey, slow to move.
Slow to react.
That's why I said you must be talking to Miss Claudia Jordan because, baby, this is a flop. Okay, now that's what we can talk to Miss Claudia Jordan about flopping seasons because she know all about that. With that being said, let's get into Married to Medicine episode 3, season 12. What is it? The Players Ball, honey. And let's just start with that contestant gonna contest, all right? Because what I tell y'all and what I've been telling y'all from the beginning is contestant is a try too hard. And now here she is gonna play the same little game with us that she played before.
We're having
and we'll be the damn fools to sit up and let her do it.
Yes.
We be the damn fools, but let's go. The episode opens up with Dr. Heavenly talking about grandkids
Thank
to her son, honey. Then Simone is talking about constipation with her patient. Like, and then
you.
Brandy is talking about lip injection aftercare with her patient because the patient was saying her boyfriend was trying to figure out when was she gonna be able to use them new lips. And Brandy like, look, you
Lord
ain't
have
even what
mercy.
you was supposed to do, right? She say he can't get none until it's done what it's doing. Now
Yes.
Contessa is in full bloom in her 70s gear to finalize plans for her birthday party. She meets with Toya, and in this meeting, where she's going over the space, and I don't know, I guess she wanted Toya to come and see it out. Again, I'm feeling like this with her and Toya is all weird, but we see it ain't gonna last very long, okay? But anyhow, in this meeting, she expressed to Toya that no one has ever thrown her a birthday party before. So this is her first birthday party, and she is throwing it for herself. This is her last year in her 40s, so she is 49. Um, and she has paid $40,000 for this party. Um, she informs Toya that she invited everyone in the group because she's hoping that everyone is able to put aside their differences to be able to celebrate her for her birthday. All right, from the beginning, from as soon as she let that shit get out of her mouth about ain't nobody ever planned her a birthday party, I said, here we go again.
Well, it's
Because now
me.
you got to complain about your husband. And when the lady starts saying something about him, then you're gonna have an attitude with everybody else because that's the shit you pulled on Heavenly. And that's so. What did you think about the scene?
I think the reason why she probably asked Toya, because Toya did last have the Bridgerton theme anniversary party. Plus, remember she threw the party when she had that, was it a camel or something there? So
Mm-hmm.
over the top thing. So maybe she thought out of all the women other than Quad, and maybe she would ask Toya to come and get her insights on, throwing a party or whatever. I do feel like, hey, most times when you're with a person, I mean, you want, okay, I put it like this. She wanted the party to be a certain way. Evidently, she know how Scott is. Scott may not throw a party because I don't feel like when Toya threw her party, did Eugene have much of an impact on what she wanted? She probably said and he helped paid for it or whatever. But I don't know why they are holding, other than she's putting it out there like that.
That's the only reason why they holding it because I don't
Okay.
think I think what you're describing is what most people would deal with, right?
Yeah.
Knowing your partner, knowing what their capabilities are, and being okay with that.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So for me, she called Toya there because least not forget when they threw the out the red party or something, or in the black, whatever the party
Okay.
was, it was to celebrate them getting out of debt. And Contessa is the one that has so much to say about whatever that party costs and what they could have been doing with their money. So with that being said, I think she felt Toya would understand the money that she was spending to have this big party. I don't know if she wanted her input per se, but I think that she was around somebody who wouldn't give a shit about whatever the money was, the
But
40K.
okay, wasn't the party that Toya had last year, wasn't it pretty expensive though?
I don't remember what the dollar amount was, but
I
that
thought it
just
was somewhere
but that goes
similar.
back to what I'm saying about Contessa being okay with her being there. Because it was Contessa that had something to say about the money Toya was spending. That going back to why I'm saying it feels weird that last week they was riding together to go woo woo. So I don't know. Maybe the rest of the cast ain't really fucking with Contessa like that. And Toya is the one she got a fool with. Um, but so for me, that's why she asked her there. But this is what I mean where it comes to her husband. It's the same thing as last time. Like everything that she said about Scott last time, nobody would have known if you didn't give it to us. If you didn't sit at the table. And also, it's something I say this over and over too. I don't know if there's a group of women or if maybe this is what y'all do and I don't know about it, like because I'm not married. But I think that maybe there's a form of dialogue that somebody feels like goes along with let's complain about our husband, and not understanding the difference between maybe having a vent session and actually sounding like you are crying for help, because even within you sounded like you wanted somebody to feel bad for you. I've thrown every birthday party that I've had, and I'll keep throwing them. Like if I need to, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. But for you to be somewhere and for you to mention it, it sounds like you want some sort of reaction.
I just didn't get it. Honestly, I mean, I'm like, he's a man. What you want him to do? Be the party planner? I don't. I mean, did he get you a gift?
Well, it sounds like she gonna say no, but I guess the gift was he signed the checks. But I think too that can be relative, because
Yeah.
I think that was the reason why he made sure to mention his dollar amount in what he cashed out in his 401, because he wanted to be able to put his mention in there that he is contributing, because I think the overall idea is that he doesn't. So I don't know.
And she put that out there like that.
Well, that right.
Yeah.
That's my point. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. Like where would I get that from? I don't know these people. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I don't know y'all
And
from Adam.
also,
Where would I get that idea from? Your wife?
and then also to me, Toya talking about people not being messy or anything, and to me, she the main one that's gonna be the one turning shit, starting the shit at the each event.
That's the truth.
So I'm like, okay.
Well, let's move on to
Mhm.
where we got Quad and King. They go head to head in the kitchen, is what I wrote down. Quick, King suggests that Quad's hormones are out of whack. She is doing IVF, and so she lets us know that the IVF journey has led her to Ghana. Okay, Dr. Jackie is her stateside physician that is foreseeing all of, I guess, the labs and the
Yeah.
upkeep that she has to do. And they have had 2 egg retrievals thus far. Quad is going to get ready to do her injections, and King seems like he has his eye on another car. Okay, not
Mm-hmm.
on a baby. Another, or I said, or another bullet that he needs to dodge, because that's what he he said in his confessional. Okay, thought he dodged that bullet, and clearly you had not. Quad tells King to brush his teeth. He smells like fish. He said, because you got a problem, that means I got a problem. Now, listen, I didn't know if he was talking about if the lady got bad breath or if the fish comment was about something else. Like, I
Oh
wasn't
no.
really sure.
Maybe because she got a problem with his breath.
I wasn't really sure what what they was talking about when it comes to that, but here's the deal. I find it quite interesting that Quad is on this IVF journey. And the only thing that I really have to say about it is I don't understand why I am not in agreement with having babies and not getting married and kind of doing all of these, not just because it's not just as simple as you got pregnant and now you having a baby. You're like actually actively making a decision and going through very invasive things to get to this next process. And I don't understand doing all of that without making sure y'all married and having those things taken care of first. I feel like that's a lot of, it's a society thing, that we have really messed up the church's money when it comes to some of the options that we have as far as expanding our families and things. And I maybe I'm wrong, it's unpopular opinions, because as a female, I don't mean to be as judgmental with other females as they decide to embark on their motherhood journey, but I am very judgmental about the fact that you would throw everything else out the window.
She said
Because
she's
you had a lot
43.
to think about when it came to Dr. Greg, and you was married to that man.
She
And
didn't want a
so
baby with him. You
Well,
know what?
clearly.
When you don't like
Yeah,
somebody, you don't
clearly.
like them.
So that's
And
what I mean.
evidently,
Like you was married to him, but it seems like with this guy, you seem to feel like you've met an Adonis and you can't go no further. You know what I mean? Like unless you had this man baby. And needless to say, this is my own insecurity. I don't know, whatever it is, but being somebody's second, third, fourth baby mama, I think not. I'm
girl, she
cool.
in her 40s. Her clock is ticking. She ain't in her 20s. She knows she only got a couple more years where this can come to fruition if it's gonna happen. So she somewhere between 43 and 45, right? Not too many people are
I
getting
mean, I
pregnant at
don't
the ages.
know.
Yes, in her
I
40s,
just
mid to
because
late.
I think my idea, and that's what I mean. Like I feel bad as a female having these types of questions, but then I'm trying to understand where this clock that's ticking, where is it coming from? Because I don't understand how the clock is ticking without somebody else there. Like, yeah, it
Girl, she
doesn't make
got money.
sense to
It's
me.
fine. It's fine. People get pregnant all the time. She said she's choosing to get pregnant. She want to have
That's
a
what it
baby.
is. Yeah, clearly.
She want to have a
And
baby.
she is catching a flight to Ghana to make sure it
Yes,
happens
that's
because for
it.
some reason she feels like that is going to
She
be more
wants to
beneficial to her.
reproduce. She
So
wants
we
to,
shall see. I know them boobs is looking good, so them hormones doing something. We'll see
yeah.
if she got some news for us when we get to the
I
reunion.
wonder if she's gonna end up doing a surrogate. I wonder.
I don't know.
I just
I
wonder if
don't
she's.
know. It feel like a mess to me.
I don't
It feel
know.
like a mess.
Good luck.
That's all right. That's what we got for you, Miss Quad. Miss Quad.
I know
Good
when
luck.
it was
Good
my
luck.
cousin, she went through the whole journey. She and couldn't do it. And then when she finally got pregnant, they told her baby was already had, it was she was about to lose it. Turns out the baby was not. But then they had gave her the medicine anyway. She's like, am I killing my baby? So it never happened for her. She ended up adopting. As soon as she adopted, her and her husband got divorced.
Well, interesting you would say that, which I think that's why I have such a mindset to say I don't know why you're not focused on getting you and King in a I don't know, in some type of foundational place because and something that might be a little more committal, right? You know what I'm saying? Like the piece of paper.
Maybe she don't want it.
Because I think that nobody talks about the way that children changes things. I don't care how long you've been with whoever it is you've been with, and that you when you have a baby with them, it changes the dynamics of your relationship. The end, like so while all of this is all fine and cute, what are y'all gonna do when the baby get here? I mean, what's the expectations? You know what I mean? Like you can't even depend on him to really give a shit about your hormones now. Why do you think he gonna give a shit about the hormones once you pregnant and then you going through postpartum and you see what I'm saying? Like,
Girl, she is grown. She ain't 20 something. She grown and got her own money. I don't give a damn.
well,
have
that's why
20
Sherry
babies.
Shepherd ended up in the same position. But again, Miss Quad, good luck, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if that's what you want to have a baby, have a baby. I'm not saying not to. I just find the priorities a little bit out of whack that y'all not focusing on actually having a commitment to each other
You
and
see
then
how
making
Ebony
that
K. Williams
strong.
did it.
Hmm.
She went and got her a whole sperm donor, Ebony K. Williams. Yeah. Good
I
luck.
mean, that would be if that would be the better way to do it. As we like what's Tambra is in the same type of situation with that boy Demond. So I mean, and here's the deal. If you just focus on having a baby, then fine. But say that. Stop trying to
Mm-hmm.
make it seem like it's something else. But let's move on to the next one. So Brandy arrives early to Contessa's party. This is very important to put a pin in that, because the way that Contessa come down to that girl's birthday party and blow the spot up, honey, she better be lucky that lady did not get up and bitch slap her ass.
She came to help her.
So Brandy arrives early with her makeup half done, scarf on her head, ready to roll up her sleeves and find out what she can do to help Contessa with her pre-party shenanigans, okay? Contessa provides Brandy with marital advice. You heard me. Contessa provides Brandy with marital advice, right? Okay.
But depending
what
on
she
that
said is, don't be the type of woman that be like, no, babe, don't do that for me. I got it. Because when you start doing that, then they just ain't gonna do nothing. So it sounds to me like Contessa got a bowl of regrets about the way that she started off her relationship with Scott. And here we are at her 49th birthday party, the very first birthday party she's ever had. And she is letting Brandy know, like, that is not the way that you go into a marriage, okay? Brandy said she taking notes. All right. What we think about that?
Girl. Go on. Just move right on along so we can get to it.
Moving on along. Okay, so the ladies are beginning to arrive in their 70s gear. Everyone is giving their 70s experience in the confessionals, which I guess everybody except for Curtis were pretty much too young. That's like me in the 80s. Let me tell you. So we was in the DR, celebrating my son's wedding. And he had one of his college friends was there. Now, this is funny because now I am 45 years old. I don't... And I feel like I am green about some things. I'm not green about everything, but I'm green about some things. How to score, okay, if you feel my drift, is one of those things that I am very green about. Like, I don't understand how people even find certain things. So his college friend, we was outside of the club, and his college friend, I noticed that he was doing something like this, and I thought to myself, you heard me. And so I thought to myself, like, is that what he... So it is so, as I noticed he did that, and so he ends up asking me, he was like, what you know about, like, and I was like, so he mentioned,
he asked you, the mother of the groom?
Yes, honey. So somehow, because what he equated it to was yes.
Oh,
and what he equated it to was like, because he said you grew up in the 80s, like what you know about that. And so I'm like, yeah, what? I was a kid.
What the hell?
I was like, I was not partying in the 80s. So anyhow, that's what it made me think about that when everybody was talking about how, like, hey, they just know what to come and wear, but they ain't really got that much experience hanging out in the 70s because they was all in middle school and maybe even high school, right?
Yeah,
elementary school. School. Most were children except for and everybody showed up in their outfits except for Mr. Damon, honey, who showed up in his scrubs per usual. If one thing
scrubs? It looked like regular clothes.
No, them was scrubs. Which he show up in everything damn near in scrubs. He always coming from work. Them was some scrubs.
It looked like work clothes. But I would say Brandy's husband wasn't dressed like 70s wear. He had on a white shirt and a fisherman hat.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to him. So you probably are right. Toya was sure to pull Simone to the side and discuss Contessa's budget of $40K for the party, making sure it was. I said, making sure it is known that she thought that was way too much. I thought that was rich coming out of Toya's mouth. But I could kind of agree with her as far as now they ain't do a full span of everything. And I remember seeing some of the videos when they, when it happened, when they filmed. I'm with Toya. Where did the 40,000 go? What was they eating? Like lobster? Because I wasn't sure about the 40K either. But whatever. I don't know. I ain't spending 40K. Simone says she spent 5,000 on her son's graduation party, and that is her limit. Brandy chimes in agreement, and Toya disclosed that she spent 75K on her wedding. Brandy wanted to know what was the year that she spent 75,000 on her wedding. I don't know. I guess she was thinking that that was cheap and that weddings are much more expensive at this point. I guess I thought 75K was a bit much to spend on the wedding. Period. In
Especially
general,
back in that time. Well, she been married about 18,
yeah,
20 years.
right, exactly.
Really? Girl, stop lying.
So what do we think about that conversation?
I think, well, first Toya's wedding, it must included the ring, the honeymoon, and everything. um, um, the conversation to me is Toya is being very messy.
For
She was the
sure.
main one saying, nobody coming with the resting bitch faces, not, basically talking about things. And here we got Toya going in there, stirring the shit up. So, yeah, I thought I liked how they did the names and how people talked about their experience in the 70s. My experience in the 70s, I was a kid. Great time to be alive. So, I thought for the most part, mostly everyone came in a nice little get up. And I appreciate when the men go out with and get the wigs. And I thought Heavenly Afro was all that to me. But yeah, I thought it was fun.
I thought Simone was giving real Scooby Doo. Not even Scooby Doo. I know what I thought of. Y'all remember what's the group name when they sing Grooves in the House?
B-52.
Yeah, B-52. It reminded me of them for some reason.
I'm thinking of Love Shack people. That's the same people?
I think it's the same people. Them the same people. Them the same people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep, them the same people. Yep, and you're right. That's what they are, and that's who it reminded me of. I thought it was cute. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so Contessa is arriving with her husband on her arm, honey. I thought it was funny how it was. I thought it was strange how she was very nervous, and he seemed like he was ready to take over, which I think maybe that's what she was nervous about, feeling like I don't want him to make it seem like he did all of this. Like, I feel like she really did want whoever involved to know that this was a party she threw. And it sounded like she was giving him the pep talk about it. In the confessional, Scott admits that his party would have cost half the budget, and Contessa is convinced that it would have been half the effort as well and in the living room if he had planned it. So that is why he did not, is what she said. Toya made sure to let Scott know that she loved the party he planned, or she loved the party, and she loved the things that the husbands do for their wives. Scott caught that shade real fast, because he might be something like Kim Fields' husband. Remember they was doing, giving him a hard time, calling him kind of like a queen. I don't like doing that, but Scott caught the shade. Okay, it did not go over his head. Scott caught but he did not fold under pressure. He said he just needed to cut the check. So the check has been cut. So that's Toya still being messy and doing exactly. I don't know why Contessa didn't learn her lesson the first time around, because what is it that you thought they was going to do? And you and Toya already had problems. So that's kind of the deal. Like, it's not just the fact that she calls herself confiding in somebody, it's who you confide in that gets you in a bit of trouble, because Toya didn't have no problem bringing it up to your husband. Okay, so Scott gives Contessa a birthday toast. It is underwhelming to say the least. I know after the show, Contessa posted the unedited version. It wasn't much better. I wasn't really sure. I wasn't really sure what her point was. I don't know what she wanted us to hear in that part. That was not construed in the part that was edited. Because what I understood is your husband don't give a damn about nobody but himself. That's what I got. Okay. Um, he compared Contessa to Rose from the Titanic. I'm not sure if that was supposed. I think to him it was supposed to be romantic. But he said that his mom had told him this is how he knew she was the one. His mother told him while they was watching movies that Contessa reminded her of Rose because Rose was gonna come back for him.
She's gonna jump off that boat for him.
I said, okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Contessa looked like she was a little bit disgusted. Um, but again, she posted the unedited version. I looked at it. I didn't walk away feeling no different than I did when I saw it on the TV screen. I didn't really feel like they. I didn't feel like they didn't catch the essence of what was going on there. Not sure we missed anything, Contessa. You should just spell it out for us.
Girl, I thought one thing I was kind of a little bit kind of thrown off a little bit when she walked in and had the children with her. I said, "Oh, I assume it was an adult party."
I did too.
Especially by the ladies that were at the kind of like at the front entrance, kind of half naked. I said, "She bringing her kids?" Okay.
Well, considering you didn't have anybody else bring their kids, I did assume that that was a adult party. I was yeah, I thought that was odd because that's what I mean. They was kind of huddled there like they was getting ready for something, and I thought it's your birthday party. Like, what are y'all doing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was strange. But that here we go with Miss Contessa. What did I tell y'all that nickname is? Try too damn hard. And every time she tried, baby, she just jumped right over the mark. Like you just miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Just miss it. Coming in, you in the 70s party. I think Scott called her Pam Grier, and I thought, Pam Grier? Like, that's giving Diana Ross from the Supremes. You see what I'm saying? You missed the mark. You see, you know, not that she didn't look beautiful. It was why he don't know who you supposed like. Why don't he know who it is you have conjured up? You know, like to be. Was it giving Supremes to you from the hair, from the dress, from everything? Pam Grier, where?
Yeah, I figured some disco lady.
Well, what it is, and this is now let
Donna
me
Summers.
get the truth, baby, because that's what I'm here to do. Pam Grier is like especially from the 70s, it feels like every black boy is like a fantasy girl, right? But one thing about Pam Grier was she was kind of like stacked, right? Like, is that who the song Brick House was made about? I think so for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up, but I feel like I saw somewhere that it was. I can't be for sure. All I'm saying is that to say, I think Scott was calling her that because for him, that's who he thinks of when it comes to, you know, like the sexy female role, I guess, for the 70s. However, comma, Contessa ain't giving none of that. Contessa is big as this. Like she is not giving Pam Grier, and she did not walk out in an afro. That's what I'm saying. Pam Grier, where? Like, where did you get that from? She come out in a sequins ball gown, and you say Pam Grier? Hello, hello, caller, are you there? Like because
Yeah, she's giving Donna Summers.
Not That's why I'm
Mhm.
going with Diana Ross because I don't think Donna. I can't even get her name out. Donna Summers. Even if she like the dress wasn't like a disco dress. Like you know how you because I think she wears sequins, but there's the difference between the ball gown and the sequins dress. See what I'm talking about? Contessa missed the mark. See, you see what I'm talking about? All right. The girls meet in the back after the party. Okay. We saw, oh, did we all see Quentin Latham, Funky
Yes, we
Dineva,
did.
see his cameo?
Yes,
He
we
probably,
did.
I should have got on his live yesterday to see if he mentioned it, thought he was gonna have a little more honey because you know he was running
He
around talking
didn't.
about I'm a film.
He didn't mention it, girl. He was so outdone about his insurance.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
The girls meet in the back after the party, and the ladies are asking Contessa how she feel about her party. Contessa explains that basically Scott is used to her getting it done, so I feel like they started to question her, you know, about throwing her own party. I thought that was a little crass and rude. You know, like I don't know this. I'm not sure what party etiquette is, if it matters that you throw your own or not. And I might feel that way because, as I stated before, I've thrown my own birthday parties as well. I think I'm okay with if you want something, you have to do it yourself. I don't have a husband next to me though, however, but I'm okay with that train of thought. And so I thought it was rude for the girls to kind of, you know, pick up that conversation with her at her party. But hey, Contessa here for it all because that girl will mollywop her ass into a scene. And so I'm sure she was here for it, you know. So she explains that Scotty used to her getting it done. If she wanted something right, she had to do it herself. Simone chimes in and say, you know, basically you train. You have to train your husband and you know how to treat you basically from the beginning. So she used the example of making sure Cecil knew that she wanted a card for Mother's Day. You know, you coming in with nothing, not even a card. She said, "This baby is sucking on my boob. Like, I need a card for Mother's Day."
Mm.
Dr. Heavenly says she's staying out of it because she already been down this road with Contessa and her husband, and she is trying to run for a state representative. So all she know to do is to stay out of it and keep her mouth closed.
Yes.
And we agree because the good thing about and what they tell you about not becoming part of the circus, the good thing about when somebody is like that because they're gonna do it again is that it reveals itself, like
Exactly.
right, as opposed to you trying to be the one to show, you know, and prove like, well, you see how she said this and then came back. Because again, it ain't no different than what she already had done. It was the same thing with Toya and the boob job when she was like, "Oh, I can't believe she hit me." You know, like you know damn well that girl didn't hit you on purpose, but that's the way that you presented it. Same with the other stuff when it came to Scott. Um, Contessa calls the women sexist for bringing up the conversation, for making it sound like she needed her man to do something for her. And it was something wrong with her doing something for herself. She told the ladies, why would they focus on the negative? What did you think?
Well, I thought it was crass that they brought up about her husband not helping or lack thereof, and even Toya throwing those digs at him at the throwing the shade. I'm like, he a good one. Maybe he probably said something to Contessa, but my husband would have been the one who had said something to Toya back right there because I don't understand it, and what difference does it really make other than Contessa is making it a big difference. Hold on, my grandbaby's mama downstairs, so I'm about to.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I totally agree with that. You know, again, that's like I say, when Contessa is going to mollywop her tail into a scene, and I think it goes back to wanting to relate to an audience, but not really knowing what the audience relates to. Like, this is your marriage. Nobody knows what's wrong with it unless you tell us. And she got so upset, which I guess when in Dr. Heavenly's or in Contessa's defense, like I said, when Dr. Heavenly was doing her reviews, that is something like you can't be friends with somebody who, is friends with you and you are sharing whatever intimate details or something. And then she goes on a public platform and basically airs you out. That's wrong. Like, and you shouldn't be friends with anybody who's doing that. But I think that Contessa really failed to take any accountability for where the ammunition came from. That it wasn't something that was being made up, and that the lady was just saying stuff that was similar to the advice that she was giving you in private about your marriage. But once you brought it up on the TV, it seemed like it was fair game. And I feel like that's what those girls are doing now. They probably really don't want you there, which is probably why you stuck hanging out with Toya. I'm just saying. But okay. We're going to move on to Simone and the boys, to the meat and potatoes. Simone, the boys, and Cecil are meeting to discuss life after both of the boys have graduated from college. So the boys look like they went and picked up some food.
Girl, look at this.
Everybody has held a field day.
Yes,
with the pan picture and the little paper still in the pan. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of, I don't know. I don't know. And it's funny how my sense of humor worked, because I guess I don't know. I don't know if I felt it was as funny as everybody else did.
I don't think it was funny. I think people thought it was kind of disgusting. Okay. Everybody and their mama grab on that and tell them what crowd. That means you didn't wash it off.
Well, and maybe it's because I got these boys or something. I was almost thinking like it didn't even shock me, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like,
girl, they need to bring back home ec to the school system.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe it's because I don't know. Could I see? I would think that my boys wouldn't do anything like that, but I can't really put them past it.
Let me shut up, because I think
that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, okay, caught him with the paper. Like, I don't know, and then I was wondering, like, how did he, like, was that the way they picked it up? Because I found it odd that they went and picked up food and then transferred it to the pan to pull it out and put it in the.
Maybe they.
I don't know.
Maybe they put it in the oven to kind of keep it warm.
Honey, shit! It's a wonder they didn't burn the whole house down there. Like,
I said, "Oh my God!" But well, they was trying.
They did try, honey. They was trying to make sure their parents, they could fix them some drinks. They was really buttering them parents up, honey, for them to come on in. And Michael to start talking to Simone about he tired of his Jeep. Like, the Jeep ain't.
No, what got me is when he said, "Don't make me have to take your pasta and give it to the dogs."
That's what he said, honey. What she said, right? Because he said he tired of his Jeep. So Simone said, "Well, let's discuss, your budget and see if you got anything to be able to, choose to get another car." So she said she going to get her laptop because she did some budgeting work. We found out Michael done spent over $60,000 this year on the Chase bill.
Girl, I said, I don't think she need to adopt me, honey.
I'm
I would
saying,
love to know how it feels just to swipe a motherfucking card and
girl, shit,
not give
me
that one
too.
damn. Let me
Me, like it too. Like,
got my ass. Hell. Shit.
where I ain't gotta open up my Chase account, sweat bullets. Like, let me see.
Let me try to move some money around. He's just swiping and going, girl.
Oh, so basically, Michael thinks that his mom should help him pay for law school because that is what his next journey he feels like is he want to go to law school. He thinks Simone should help him pay for it. Simone is pissed. Okay, she is like, "What the helly?" Um, she says she is the dispenser of all dreams in her household, and she ends up crashing out on Michael and Cecil because Cecil did not have her back when it came to Michael basically feeling entitled. So the deal is Michael puts up an argument because Simone tells Michael that, hey, I'm the only one with a postgraduate degree and I got scholarships and took out loans to get my degree. Michael's argument is like, hey, your mom wasn't in a position where she could help you with it. He feels like because his mom is, excuse me, she should help him. Um, Simone is feeling like these kids ask for too much. And I think, well, they won't watch What Happens Live. What we understand is he's applying for law school. So it sounds like Simone is going to go ahead and pay for it. But I think Simone really wants to see him just using some sort of responsibility and not really taking advantage of the privilege that he happens to have. Um, but that is something that I think comes from the parents, and it might doesn't help that Cecil is not one that is because he kind of agreed with Michael in the sense to say, hey, we are in a different position, and so maybe he has a point.
I think since Cecil, he definitely he agrees with soft parenting. His mother did the same for him, though. He stayed home until he married her. So I feel like that Michael, to me, he talks a little sideways for me to be trying to just help his ass like that. I mean, for real.
I'm with
You ain't
you
gonna
on
tell
that.
me, and I ain't a big thing. I'm the mama, and you just gonna be sitting in conversation and cussing with me. And I've seen them do that on lives with her. And I'm like, damn, okay. I know everybody got to be grown, but you ain't too grown when I got to buy your car and I got to pay for your school and your shelter. No. So when you feel like you that grown, you don't need my help. So therefore, because I'd be like, why are we talking like this? I'm not your friend. Like go back to you saying, call you Miss Brandy.
Right, right.
No. So that's where I'm at with that. I seen Dr. Heavenly do her live with or do it with Carlos King, and she talks about it too. And she said, well, we all done did the shit, raised our kids that way. She's the only difference is because she bought her son that same Jeep and he got a Tesla too. She said, even though I cussed my other son out and told him to get out or cussed him out and he left, she said, my kids ain't disrespectful because their dad would not allow it. And that's where she was at with it. He too damn disrespectful the way he talks.
That's the truth.
And she was like, Cecil should have had her back,
That's the truth.
And the way she exploded, I was like, well, damn. It was really that was a real moment right there, honey. Because she's like, "What the fuck? I'm gonna retire."
Right. Well, yeah, and you spending $60,000. You spending $5,000 a month, basically, on what? When you living in my house, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and that's what I mean by I know.
He didn't even know he spent it on.
Like I would, like even with my sons, if I was in a position, there would be nothing that they would have to worry about if I had it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I agree. I wouldn't want you to take advantage. I would want you to still show respect and responsibility about what it is, that's going on and what you have.
was that, was it last year or the year before, when they got him the condo and how nasty it was? You know, you staying here rent free. And they are really entitled. I mean,
Yeah.
really. The oldest boy didn't say nothing.
Well, he knew better. He said
Yeah.
he gonna stay out of this because honey, Simone
This
hit
ain't
the
my
roof.
fight. This boy want. I'm like, okay, what kind of Jeep did he have? And now you see him bought you a Tesla. Dr.
And
Simone
that's a
wants
hell
you to
of
be
a
my
car
mama.
to have for you to not own or earn on your own. You know, I would like to think, even if I had the money, and I say this just about myself and the things that I would purchase, you know, like I don't think I would have very much, I wouldn't indulge in some of the luxury things, that maybe a few here and there, you know what I mean? But um a car would be good enough. I don't know that you need a Tesla. When you start talking about a Tesla, then that means you going to make some money so you could go get you a Tesla, because you able to, you know what I'm saying? Like you in position to go and work and get. I thought the Jeep, she folded because the Jeep would have had to been good enough till he was able to go get his own Tesla for me.
Because remember when Riley was in high school, she was driving a Porsche.
Right.
I said, shit. I need to be that kid.
I'm saying that's a bit much. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with, you know, like a nice, you know what, Audi, or you know what I'm saying. But damn, a Porsche, you know, that is, I'm out here making my own money type of car. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But Simone was not having it. She done went off on everybody in the house. I'm sure production probably got it too. She told them that they was being entitled, and Cecil don't ever have her back. Which leads us to the ladies are arriving. Now here's what's funny, because we never really, unless I blinked and missed it, we never really saw the ladies get invited to this thing. So the scene come where Simone is sitting there, and then Heavenly come and join. And I'm thinking that they just gonna have lunch or dinner or whatever, you know, they got there for. But turns out they were actually meeting up to celebrate Brandy's birthday for a birthday dinner. Simone tells Heavenly like she done cursed out the kids. Heavenly, I think, shared that she done cursed out her son and he left the house. You know, that's that black mama for you, honey. You bound to get cursed out a time or two. Anyway, Brandy's birthday, and Brandy's husband has decided that he is covering all the food and drinks for the ladies. Contessa expresses that she really hates that when you host a party, because so everybody gets there and they kind of started talking about Contessa's party. Like, I feel like we didn't really get a chance to kick it. That's Toya. And so Contessa was like, yeah, I really hate when you host a party because you don't really get a chance to like mingle. Which Contessa ain't hosted many parties at all. Going back to her first season, that's how she ended up losing her babysitter, because she kept throwing her babysitter in these awkward ass positions.
Girl, that ghetto ass babysitter.
That's what I'm saying. Knowing that the lady was not what she was trying to present.
Who mama was that? What's the singer name?
Donnell Jones.
Yes,
his mama. But I'm saying, like, that's why I bring that up, to go all the way back there. Contessa was even then trying to present us with something, and it was like we could tell in the dynamic of you and that lady's conversation that there was some, you know what I'm saying, skewed lines. Like, it was more than, this is not just your employee, because the way she talked to you in the first place, but you was trying to present her, and what she was calling you out on is your ass not being authentic with this presentation. But anyway, that's why I say she's not a good host of a party anyway. Because that 90s party that she had flopped. Anyhow, And that's the last time we saw the babysitter too, ain't it? At that party. That
That
is
babysitter
the
got
last
towed up,
time
didn't
we
she?
saw her. So she says that's why she ended up having brunch the next day. She cooked all day for this brunch, is what she said. I cooked all day. The ladies are looking puzzled. Now, what's funny to me is they didn't seem quite puzzled why they didn't get an invite.
That's what I was thinking. She didn't invite any of them. Maybe it was a family brunch.
It was something, honey. But listen, the ladies was like, okay. And so they say, well, you cook, yeah, you cooked. Mimi said, you cooked. Where was Scott? Scott was outside having a cigar, honey, while she was slaving away for her birthday brunch.
Girl.
What I say? Here I go. Oh yeah, the ladies was looking opposite of impressed. They was all looking a little confused. Contessa expresses to Toya that she felt taken care of because Scott picked up the tab. So Scott made sure the money, whatever she needed, she was able to do. So she said that's how he takes care of me.
So why is she complaining? Why is she complaining?
Because that's her MO. That is her MO.
The
And that's what
professional
I'm saying.
victim.
Like, I think that she feels like what she's doing. Because she says it in this back and forth with her and Toya. I don't think she understands that whatever she does, it doesn't come out as just a vent. It comes out like you are crying for help.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to be in this marriage with your husband. It doesn't sound like you having, like a bad day. I don't even know if bad day is the right way because it's something different about it. But Brandy interrupts these ladies to have them say hello and thank you to her husband and kids who are on the FaceTime. So they are on the FaceTime looking at the ladies like, are you going to say thank you? And so they all say thank you. Brandy says thank you to her husband about 5 or 6 times. And so Contessa said, ring-a-ling-a-ling, that's my cue. Let me get in this thing.
Okay.
That's my cue.
She about to clock in. Okay.
And so she say, I don't know what that girl asked her, but she said, well, are we gonna have to thank your husband?
Are we gonna have to pray to him? She said.
Pray to him, thank him, praise him, something.
Yes.
Heavenly thought that was hilarious. Okay. Brandy, not so much.
No.
Considering, and so this is what we're talking about. Contessa need her ass whooped because out of everybody sitting at that table, it was that girl that came.
It helped you.
And helped you. And so for you to turn around and what she tell her, talking about if my husband would have did this for me, I'll be underwhelmed. This is nothing but a birthday dinner. Girl, you ain't even had that. Did you get a birthday gift? Why you?
I guess my thing is, did she think, like, were we missing something? Did she think the girl was throwing shade at her? Is why she came at her or something? I just don't understand.
I think she just really got in her feelings, which that's what Toya, pointed out. Is like, okay, you're upset that your husband did not pitch in, and
we didn't spend the money. I mean, it wasn't like she had to go out there and blow up all them goddamn balloons herself. If she paid $40,000, she should have had a party planner.
That's what I would have thought too.
Hell, I would have been moving right around.
She feels like she's just like having normal conversation, venting about her husband. But you don't realize that it don't come off that way. You come off as unhappy.
Yes.
You know what I'm like, and which is different. Like, even though in this same conversation, Simone throws out I think it was Quad. She said some of the people in the group don't even want to be married. She was talking about Toya. That was shade, because that's who she. Yeah.
I thought she
Because
was throwing it at
her and
Contessa because
Toya's beef always been that Toya been like she
yeah,
be out flirting, doing other shit on Eugene.
I understand that, but I thought because Contessa brought up about the Rolls Royce and or a wedding ring, so that's why I thought she clocked in and was saying because the way Contessa be venting like she don't want to be married, and I think she filed for a divorce a couple different times. So I thought she was talking to Contessa.
No, I think she was throwing shade at Toya.
Hmm.
At least that's my belief.
She
It
said,
could have
"How I
been
get
at
in
both.
it?"
But I think Quad's point was she got a wedding ring and what she wanted.
Mm.
So clock that T, as
Yeah.
she said. clock that.
Yes.
Okay. Figure out how to do both. But yeah, Contessa, you seem like you don't want to be married to this man. You don't seem like you do complain about him all the time. Even when it came back to you, when you decided to go 2 states over to go to school, you was complaining about that man then. When who told you to up and go, like go get in school 2 states away? Anyway, again, Contessa just be doing the most. Girl, and she was really doing the most in this scene because she starts to say she done went in her purse and pulled out cash. Like, who even have cash in today's society? Why are you running around with that, first of all? And why are you pulling it out at the table, like as if you don't believe her husband is covering what he said he was gonna cover? So that's when Toya points out that Contessa is really upset that Scott did not plan anything for her birthday. Contessa is adamant that she is not and wants her friends, and wants to know why her friends are focused on the negative and not the positive. I thought she said that after her party, but it must have been him. Contessa remembers she needs to, I said, calm the room. I don't know why I said that. But Simone asked the table, are there times you are frustrated with your marriage? That's what Simone expresses that she may not. She says, anybody, what was the question? Anybody else not don't want to be married anymore, like me or something?
Besides me?
Besides me, okay. And I thought that was, see, like even with that, and Simone, it feels like that didn't feel the same as what it sounds like Contessa does. Even though I'm sure, and I think they talked about it on the live, but I'm sure that Cecil, feelings was hurt about it. I think he said he felt like Camille Grammer. And here, the girls who get it, because he was right. That was a great parallel to call out, him being in that same, feeling like he's in that same position as Camille Grammer. But it does, like, that felt like a moment. That didn't feel like an actual feeling that you go through every day having. Contessa is, even in her confessional, did she say she called that man not smart, saying he was only book smart?
Yes, like he didn't have any, no common sense or street smart. Yeah.
So that's what I like. Everything she gives us makes it seem like she is miserable, and it don't sound the same as because that's what she told Toya. Well, you complain about your husband, and she like, yeah, I can, but you do something that's way different. Like I don't even know how to put my finger on it. She do something that is way different. It feel different. It look different.
Because with Toya's goodness, God, excuse me.
So make sure y'all drop down in the comments and let us know what you are going to rate this week's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. Let us know what you thought about both episodes. Go ahead, finish telling me.
Yeah. Goddamn, he made me lose my train of thought. um, um, oh, about Toya, and because it seems like Toya is being sarcastic, and even when Simone had mentioned about who else don't who else don't want to be married besides her, it kind of seemed like because she was upset and she said she's tired of being the third wheel, but it doesn't seem like she was ready. It don't seem like what Contessa was doing.
That's right. That's right. And that's what I'm saying. I can't put my finger on it, but it feels different. The information feels different.
Yeah, because the way she kind of put it out there. Different. Because I'm thinking, how many men really plan parties? Just being honest.
I mean, like so Contessa said, well, we've been married so long. I figured by the time we've been married 30 years, then maybe then he'll do it. So you just sitting up hoping, wishing, and praying that someday he just all of a sudden becomes somebody different. And that's what it is. You don't want to be married to that man. And it's because you literally want him to be somebody different than what he is. And I think we all can see that, because I don't he's not my husband, and I can't say if he's a good husband or not. But what I am saying is, like, the things that you are asking of him, it didn't feel like he presented that to you in the first place. So, again, even though I've never been married, but I think this is just important for everybody to remember, like, even just going through being single, like if you're dating somebody, if you can't deal with that person the way that they come, you know what I mean? Like, because chances are some people change, but the evolution of how people change is within them. You know what I mean? It ain't really got nothing to do with your ass. So if that person present themselves the way that they do, are you able to deal with that the way that it comes? So I'm saying that to say you want a romantic partner, and he doesn't appear to have ever been romantic. You don't tell us about that if he had or not.
Yeah.
And I can imagine maybe not, considering how long they spent in a relationship being long distance.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, girl, I just feel like whatever kind of fairy tale she has in her head, that she hasn't made it come to fruition. But honey, the dating pool is pissed. And he's a doctor. So I don't know what her issue is with him.
What you say, you gotta buckle up and hold on tight.
Buckle up, buttercup. So I don't know. But girl, I had to get off this live.
All right. Well, that was pretty much how we ended anyway. So listen, like I said, Contessa is back to her same old tricks, honey. And Dr. Heavenly is gonna let the girls handle her this time. Yes. And I'm sure Toya is here for the handling.
Yes, she is. Dr. Heavenly is going to be demure and cutesy.
And here's the other part. This is what we don't understand about anybody who, even though I don't consider, even though I know she is a friend of the show, and I know that technically in the house world or housewives world would be considered a demotion. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily consider her being demoted, but this is what I am going to say. Outside of her running for state representative, I wouldn't give them too much either, because they're not paying you enough to be up in all their business. So you let those girls who hold in the the stethoscopes, is that what do they have?
Yeah.
Okay. You let those girls earn their pay. So you go on and sit back. So Contessa, the floor is yours. Right.
And with that said, I gotta bid you guys good night.
All right. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us what y'all thought about this week's episode.
All righty. We'll see you guys later. Good night.
Good night.